We live in three, two, one. We're live. Hey everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for interest in this project that I've been working on, or me, or whatever it happens to be. I already see I got a few cool people on here. Jayon, Arvind, Sheepdog, giving me some hellos and some thank yous. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's a big day today. It's January 2nd, 2022, and if for anybody that happened to have been following along or caught up to this project or just heard about it, the first stream I did where I decided to, hey, let's do npm init, let's set up Next.js, let's make hello world basically. That was January 2nd, 2001, 21. 2001, yeah. It's taken 21 years, but we're here. No, 2021. So yeah, 1 year, 365 days, I guess, roughly, or 366. I don't know, 364. I guess. Is it always 365? It can't always be, but I think it was this year. I didn't really keep track of the leap years personally. But yeah, it's been a long run. 52 streams we did. A good chunk of them were at least 2 hours. Some of them, maybe 10 or more of them, were over 3 hours. And I had a heck of a good time doing them. Definitely midway through, I think I switched to more of the format of like doing them ahead of time on my weekends and evenings and stuff. And then the stream would be kind of about applying them to the branch and discussing them. And it was a good opportunity still. To me, it felt pretty much the same as I was always doing. I'm not just, the streams, I guess, were never about me just kind of fumbling around because honestly, to do a day's worth of, to do 3 hours of content and get a bunch of stuff done can take about a week of preparation and thinking about the problems to get them right. Otherwise, you kind of just throw something together under the gun. So I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out. And what is this? This is a release party, so we should celebrate, right? We got my usual powered by Red Bull, but as you see, I'm dressed a little more fancy today. I'm trying to be more in the game kind of thing. Got a message here from Abrar. He's a very always a follower. Can you go to emulator games online? Possibly, Abrar. We'll get there. I'd like to go through. I've took the time recently in the README file to make a massive, well, maybe not massive, but a big feature list of basically everything that I thought was worth mentioning that the app could do. And I'd like to go through those things with you guys, just so everyone that watches this video, they can kind of scrub through it if they want and get an idea for some of the cool stuff it can do. As you see behind me, if you were following me before, there used to be a lot of post-it notes behind me. There was on this wall here, there was a done wall, which pretty much was completely full from like here to the whole white part. Basically, this was the post-it notes. I decided to take them down. You know, these are done. They're not going to get undone, hopefully. So I've decided to take them down. And then the ones over there, those were the not yet dones. There's a smaller list. And I've also moved that over. I've migrated that over to the README file. So now we got a little list of kind of do as soon as possible, soon, and eventually. So there's kind of 3 categories of things I'd like to do. And then there's also the bugs, which most of the bugs I consider do pretty quick, depending on what they are. If it's like Safari Mobile, I've kind of hummed and hawed about those. Luckily, I actually have my wife's old iPhone now, so I'm able to do some more Safari testing. I'm going to acknowledge some of the people here. Got a woohoo from Arvind. Got a hi Dustin from John. Dustin, I'm a new follower. I'm a Chilean. Oh, like from Chile? That's cool if that's the case. Or, yeah, or Cillian. Feel free to correct me anyways. Either way, happy to have people on. It looks like I got five followers, and I don't really have any intended length for this video. Who knows how long it'll go. Another thing to mention that might make it more of a celebration is we got the celebratory thing that goes pop, hopefully. That was basically what I paid for. It was just that pop opening cheer that we'll have, you know, to kind of say, hey, we did it. Why do I say we? I would say I definitely did a good chunk of it, but there is something to streaming it and having the people comment and all the positivity around it that kept things moving along, you know. Just by having an audience, it can keep you moving along. Even if your audience is just one person, if you know that they're watching in a normal way, not the watching way, but they're just enjoying your content, there's kind of a motivation to not let them down, I guess, and there can be some stress to that, but at the same time, for me, it's been positive because I like working on this project anyways. It's just always been something I've enjoyed. I got a lot of inspiration recently from a few, not too recently ago, like a couple years ago, even from some of the people online. Just to trying to call them out as far as some YouTubers that I liked. Serenity OS is one of them. That's a really cool. That's like a full-on operating system. But just the way that the style the guy has and the way he does his videos and kind of really gets into the nitty-gritty and just likes to play around with the different ideas. It's commendable. So that's a cool one to watch. Got another message here. I discovered you on a Facebook for your Doom page. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I recently just, as you guys know, this is a release party, and I'm starting to post to some subreddits. Last time I posted like a V1 maybe over a year ago, basically, and I posted to a bunch of Reddits all at once, and it was a little bit too much for everybody, and I also kind of didn't follow some of the rules properly. I was kind of a noob to posting some of the stuff on Reddit to that scale. So this time I'm being a bit more specific about it, and I've actually got a little bit of a schedule this week where I'm going to post in different subreddits and see what kind of response I get. I think one of the next ones coming up is a subreddit called It Runs Doom, and those are definitely the Doom fanatics that I think will get a kick out of it. But yeah, it's one of the beauties of having a DOS emulator. That's one of those things where I'm obviously standing on the backs of others. I haven't myself made a DOS emulator, but because there's this open source DOS emulator that's easy to use, I'm able to use just the Doom shareware version, and I just kind of put them together in a nice package, hopefully. A few more messages here. I remember Super Smash Bros. 64 on Emulator Online. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. 64 is one of my favorite games. Abra has mentioned these a few times to me, these Mario games, and I'm actually a huge Mario fan. Like, let me show you my clock here. This is my clock on my desk. This is like a Mario little game, and these things are pretty cool. It's like a little mini Super Mario 1 and 2, but it also can just be a desk clock that's like constantly playing Mario thing. So that's something fun. I got another little Mario guy here. I got one of my favorite Star Trek characters, Geordi LaForge, you know. I don't have the Data one, but Data's also top, and my wife recently got me this, as, you know, trying to dream big here. I think the Cybertruck is just a cool car, just an interesting car, you know. Also an Elon Musk fan, so that's probably part of it. But yeah, I've kind of hesitated towards the Super Nintendo NES emulators and doing Mario stuff because I've heard a lot of nightmare stories about people getting takedown notices and just getting in trouble with Nintendo kind of copying their IP. And it's not the same as these DOS games where I'm able to get shareware versions that are publicly available. It's like there are publicly available things that you can get that make Mario run, but they're not really the same as shareware. And there is some licensing kind of kung fu you're kind of going through. So that's why I've kind of shied away from them, especially including them. But I do feel that, so like one thing I do want to do is include an NES Super Nintendo emulator. I found a really nice one that uses like an mscript and WebAssembly type of thing that can run in the browser. So I'd like to give people the ability to, and then it's like, hey, if you want to come to my website and you got a ROM, you want to drag it on the desktop, double click it or whatever, then there you go. You can play it on there. I mean, at the same time, you might have a Windows emulator anyways, but I might even put some demo ones on there. There are some open source NES Super Nintendo ROMs, I think, that people have made. I'm not sure, though, on that, to be honest. But that would be some kind of idea I'd want there. I'm going to try to address some of these and also have... I got to drink something here. Let's start with the Red Bull, just to give me a boost here and get some drinking energy. Got a Zack Attack message. Yeah, Nintendo is savage. Yeah, I'm a little worried about them. Man, I'm getting a lot of messages, more than usual. Let me try to track these puppies. John, 3D games are not complicated to emulate on websites. Again, that's where I'm kind of standing on the shoulders of giants. Like when you get the DOS emulator, there's DOS games that are 3D, like the Duke Nukem game. So in that way, it's like you're kind of emulating it. I mean, my wallpaper's 3D using 3JS. I would say none of it's difficult for me because I'm using utilities, libraries, frameworks, other kind of things to make it happen. If you were asking me to make a 3D game, that's not really my forte. It's something I'm interested in. It was actually a cool idea I had. It's kind of a meta idea for this desktop is now that once I have the realism, now I can kind of mess with people's expectations. So maybe like I could have some joke mode where you press the start menu and then all of a sudden like Mario runs around on the taskbar or something and interacts with the windows, you know, jumps on a window, goes behind it, whatever, things like that. Like there's no reason I can't do that. It's all just, it's all fake, you know, so it all could be manipulated, but as far as my level of game development, it's pretty much just getting emulators to work. And that's always kind of been my specialty, is just like getting stuff to work, gluing stuff together has been something I've always enjoyed. I'm just gonna look at a few more messages here. I saw your post on Watch People Code, I think a couple of months ago. Yeah, I would expect it. If you've ever been there, then you've probably seen it, because I posted one every week for the last 52 weeks straight. So probably you saw one on there. Codify Sweet Room. Thank you. Yeah, it used to look a lot cooler actually with all these post-it notes I had, but my wife got me these nano leafs for Christmas that are pretty cool. I got all my travel photos. Maybe we can go through some of my travel stuff, because I have it on my website, which is that thing we're going to look at. I plan to do more, actually, in the new year. I've actually got some plans to kind of finally go full speed with the fact that I'm work from home. And I want to get a couch over here, because I got a laptop now, so I want to be able to work, to sit down there, get a coffee table. I got a spare monitor I'd like to put up there, and then I actually have a motherboard just sitting right there that's actually a pretty decent one, like an Intel i7 something or other from my old system. It's just missing a power supply and a case. I want to set that up with the monitor and kind of just get some kind of interesting thing going there on the screen. Maybe have a server up for hosting or something. I'm happier with my web hosting this time. Last year when I hosted this thing, I got the Reddit effect and kind of got knocked down. And I was hoping on my host company, StableHost, which I use as a reseller, actually. And they let me down, basically. Their DNS servers ended up dying on me. Just serving the files was slow. I actually knew about CDNs, but I just didn't take the time. And boy, is Cloudflare easy. Like, if you've got a static domain, if you have a domain and you want to set it up, Cloudflare is super easy. Like, all I did is just switch my DNSs and say dustinbrett.com, Cloudflare, you handle the DNS, and then it does all the like content delivery network proxy caching and all that stuff, and it's just like bullet fast now, much more strong. At the same time, last time I posted it in so many places at once that I think I probably got like 10 times the traffic that I'm getting this time. Oh, I'm just gonna adjust myself for comfort here. I don't know if this chair is comfortable or not. I used to have a Herman Miller one at my old job, and honestly, it was less comfortable than this like $300 lazy boy chair that I have now. But maybe in the long term, sitting on it kind of roughs you up. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's see what other messages we got here. I saw someone emulating a fairly old version of Minecraft, but it was going super well. Yeah, definitely we could do some Minecraft stuff. I've seen some web desktops where people are using JavaScript versions of Minecraft, so I've considered putting them in. But most of the versions I've seen have been very non-modular, where they become tricky to get in there. It's possible though. I did it with Space Cadet. If you know the Space Cadet game from Windows, I've actually got that running, and that's like one of the few games that's not from another emulator. It's not a DOS emulator or anything. It's like somebody ported that game over to WebAssembly, basically. What else we got here? Do you see Quake on your web desktop? I could probably put Quake on there, actually. There's like the Quake.js website, and we have the browser, the fake browser that's an iframe. So we could sneak about it there. Some of I've mentioned this before, but some of them are ones I don't necessarily desire putting on my site because it adds a huge amount of files I have to serve. Your room is very cool. Do you have a gamer PC? I suppose I do. Not really as far as video card, which I guess would be the gamer thing. I'd say most of my other parts. I have a programmer PC at a high level, I guess. It could be better. I wanted to get a better processor when I built it. I actually have a YouTube video in my streams here of me building the computer. It's using like a Ryzen 3900, I think, or something like that. But at the time, I wanted something faster. It's just the stock was just completely nuked. I couldn't find it. And I'm really happy with this one. I mean, let me open Task Manager. How many cores I got? How many cores? How many threads? Where is it here? Performance, CPU, change graph to logical processors. Oh man, it's pretty. It's 12 core, 24 thread or whatever. It looks nice anyways. What does it mean? I don't know. I do notice a performance boost though. I'm happy with it. But yeah, my graphics card could use an upgrade. It would probably help with the streams too, actually. If I got a better NVIDIA one, they have a better video encoder that I'd like to get. I have a decent ATI. Or is it ATI? Oh, geez, that's dating me there. That's old company. I get AMD graphics card. I don't even remember what. It's like the RX 580 or something. I played Cyberpunk on it the other day, or the other day being like months ago, and it wasn't so bad. And I actually have I have an Oculus VR too, and I played a few games on that, and it can handle it. You know, I mean, I'm not a frame per second purist, I guess would be the word for it. I'm okay for a little bit of lag anyways. What else we got here for messages from Zack Attack? Maybe emulate something like Guitar Hero. I know there is a popular Unity app out there called Clone Hero. Yeah, it's very possible. Again, with the iframe approach, might be possible. Well, thanks for everybody following. Man, we got 8 people now here. What's another one here? Clone Hero is very cool, but it has a few songs also sometimes. Okay, cool. What else is on my agenda here? I guess, yeah, just some other celebratory things. I wanted to open this, so let's open this. I looked online. It seems like it's okay to do this on YouTube. It's like I'm not drinking to excess or something. This is a celebratory thing, so I don't see the problem. I just don't want to bust my monitor up here. That would be funny, actually. I'd probably laugh. Oh, this is not as cool as I thought it would be. They've definitely tricked me. Look at these like bumps they put in the plastic to make it look like, oh, that was something metal. All right, let's hope it makes some kind of sound or I wasted my money. Oh. Oh, it's even more disappointing than I thought. This is just like a fake cover. There was like one that was 3 times the price that I'm pretty sure was legit from whatever. The whole point I bought it was for the sound. I don't know if this is going to make any sound. Boy, that's disappointing. Now I just feel like a drunk to drink this. Whatever. But it would have been cooler with the sound. Let's, looks nice anyways. Oh, man. Don't want to get on my keyboard. I actually need to do a review. I just got a new keyboard, and it's amazing. It feels to me like one of the best keyboards in the world, and I'm loving it. What else we got here for messages here? That was anticlimactic. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be. They trick you here with this because, yeah, I think there's one that's like 3 times the price that basically has the same bumps, except the bumps are actually legit metal, whereas here it's all just a sham. Oh well. So let's keep moving on here. So I talked about the post-it notes. I've updated all my notes to show the features. Maybe we can go through the feature list really quick before I kind of start diving into some demo of it. Other than that, what else I want to say? Yeah, so this has been a year of doing these 52 Saturdays in a row. It was a lot of work. I appreciate I'd say my family supported me, definitely. It was at 9 p.m. that I was doing them, so it's not like I was always interrupting everything, but there's probably other stuff I could have done, other focuses I could have had, and they were understanding, so I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. I should probably drink the drink I poured. Cheers. I'm of age, by the way. I'm 36, so... Oh, that's not good. Oh, well. Not a review, it's just my opinion. So, yeah, we got the new year. I'm excited about it. I've had a good year, I feel like, with this project. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the text here. I'm going to acknowledge one more, and then I'm going to try to read this thing here, because I don't want to keep ADD and everybody here. Not that there's anything wrong with ADD. I'm a fan of it. We'll make the sound for you, man. No worries. Oh, okay. That's what the pops were. Oh, much appreciated. Pop, thank you. Okay. Where was I going with this? Right. Later on, too, we're going to have a Q&A and an AMA, but at the same time, feel free to just throw stuff at any point. I'm just distracting myself reading it, but at the same time, it's not a distraction, so feel free to just throw them in there. Also, another thing I wanted to mention again, if you're not a long-time viewer, not even a long-time viewer, this is just something from a few weeks ago, but I feel like it's something I should probably disclose, and at the same time, it's just like a celebration thing, and it's a huge news. And I've mentioned it a couple times before to people that follow, but I actually, unrelated to this project, have recently started a job at Microsoft as a level 2 software engineer, which is exciting in its own way. And yeah, I've been pretty psyched about that. So, but it's not related to this project. I don't believe I got hired in any way related to the project. Didn't really come up very much. It did come up at one point, but it was like, I don't even think I showed it. I just mentioned that I was doing it. That's my recollection of it. But yeah, I figured I'd just mention it because it's not like they've endorsed it or anything. It's just something fun that I like, and it's MIT open license, and started making it before I ever even dreamed that I would work there. It's kind of a dream job for me. So I only just started, but it's always somewhere I wanted to work. So I mean, I'm making a Windows 10 clone, and then all of a sudden I'm working at the place that like also makes Windows 10. It's kind of meta in its own way, kind of weird. Yeah, that was it. And then now this new personal website is the other big thing, to being able to finish this app and replace dustinbrett.com, which, by the way, is the website. I should probably post the address here for just anyone here. I got some congratulations here from people. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited. This is the website, by the way. Feel free to check it out. Like I said, hopefully Cloudflare is holding it strong and serving it reasonably well. I think I found that depending on what region you're on, it might be slow when you first check it out, because the way the CDNs work, it's like it'll serve you from some location, but if you're the first person from that location to request it, it's kind of a little slower because it goes to my server to request it, and my server on StableHost is like not amazing. I'm thinking of hosting it here even, honestly. Like I have a really good connection here. I have a basically 1 gig up and down in my home fiber. It's like 1 millisecond response type of thing. So it would be okay to host it here. I don't think I have like a static IP account. I don't want to pay for that. But I don't think my IP changes very often, so it's something to consider. But at the same time, I've been happy with my host, so I'll probably leave it here. And once it gets like cached in the Edge network or whatever, I feel like it's pretty snappy. A few more messages. Recruiters definitely check out GitHub repos a lot now. Yep, it's kind of slow in India. Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't. I actually ended up just applying through. There's always programs going on and different things, and I think I got contacted by somebody for. I guess it could have been that. You never know, hey? I mean, you never know. Who's to say? Man, I've had one sip of that and I have a headache already. That's insane. That's what getting old gets you, you know? Like as soon as I turn maybe 30 even, if I had a beer, it'd be like, oh, I need an Advil now almost. Which I don't condone either in excess. I don't think either is good for you. Okay, let's move on to the app. So this is the app. This is the thing I keep talking about. I should probably move my face out of the way. Typically I have the console open, but I think that's not the kind of video that we're going to do here. So let me move myself up. Let me see. It's 30 pixels, the taskbar. So if I press up 30 times, it'll be perfect. Let's try to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I'm not sure if that's exact. Yeah, hard to say. Let's flip back here. Lock it. Oh, I think I went 1 pixel over. No! Oh well. There we go. That looks good. Hopefully... Yeah, I guess it's looking okay. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it looks like it's properly streaming here. Cool. So this is my web desktop. My attempt to emulate Windows 10 in some ways. The idea behind this wasn't about necessarily emulating Windows 10. It was actually about the idea that if this is my personal website, I want it to almost be like if you were sitting here on the chair, like I leave the room or something, you sneak in, you want to see about me, you sit down, and what you basically see is essentially what my website is now. Is the Windows 10 style taskbar. That's what I have. The start menu I've tried to emulate as much as possible. I have a static wallpaper image, but I like this animated one. I thought it was cool. Everybody seems to like it, so I've decided to keep it. That being said, what I could do to even get one step closer is I could go into my pictures and use the wallpaper that I'm using at home. It's a NASA image, so I think it's okay. One of the features too, right now I'm on my desktop also in a separate from the thing I'm sharing here. And I can actually, in my desktop, in my computer, drag something onto my fake website. So let's try it now. We'll drag this NASA image on, drop it on, and right away it drops there. And had it been a bigger file, there's actually a progress dialog I've created as well. So let's say if we want to make a bigger file here, let's say the DSL Linux, it's called. It's 51 megabytes. If I drag that on and drop that, oh man, that was too fast as well. Well, there was a little flash of something, but it wasn't very visible. Let me try to find something bigger. Here we go, Core Plus Linux. Let's drag this on. It's 150 megabytes. So you saw something, but boy, it's actually quite... I need like something a lot bigger than I thought. Anyways, it's the typical transfer dialog. Also, on that note, there's still work to be done. One thing, if you internally were to drag something large from one folder to another, I don't have the dialog for that. But if you drag something in from the outside world, that's when I would have the dialog. So here's the wallpaper here. So if we want to get rid of this animated wallpaper for a little bit, take a break here, take a break from our eyes, we can use this one. If I right click it, you see here when I drag an image onto it, creates a dynamic icon.
And also what it does is it caches these icons. So if I refresh the page next time, it's actually faster to load this because the first time it grabs the entire image and then actually takes the icon file which is like just a typical image tag, and takes that massive image and just shrinks it down to that small thing. But then I actually have some code that comes around and takes the little element itself and turns that into a small image as a cached icon. So where that can be advantageous is, let's say, also for videos, I also do dynamic icons. And if you want to take a 400 megabyte video, read the thing just to get one frame to make an icon, that's not something you want to repeat every time. So that's a great opportunity for cache. Also, just in general, because I'm sharing my pictures of travel and stuff like that, I didn't want people every time they open up a folder to be downloading 20 megabytes of images just to get a couple little 48 pixel icons kind of thing. Look at a couple more questions here. What do we got? Looks awesome. How do I install Napster? Yeah, okay, that's a funny one. That's an interesting one. Let's try it out here. What do we got here? Old software. Isn't there like an old software website? Old version. So we got old version. Is Napster on here? Does it allow me to download it? Because there's actually, perhaps you're joking, but there actually is the ability to run EXEs on my app, on my website. So let's try it here. Let's try to get some. This is some version of Napster. I don't know which version. It's just littered with ads. So many things flying at me. I don't do any ads in my thing, by the way. What is download? Am I waiting for something? What do I click? Oh my. Okay, it just started. All right, let's presume that's it. Oh, it's got an installer. Darn it. Maybe I can extract the installer. The installer is not going to be any use to my thing. I don't have the ability to do installer stuff. Okay, that's unfortunate. I wonder if I install Napster on my... Oh, I don't want to. Darn it. See, like I can drag Napster here. Let's try to open it just for the heck of it. See what happens. But I don't think there's installers work. Let's see. I wonder what the champagne and Red Bull. That could be interesting. Oh, there we go. We're installing Napster. So you joke, but we're actually literally installing Napster on my website now. Let's see how far we can take this. This is just purely running client side. There's no server scenario here. I'm surprised it went this far. I've never actually tried to do the installer stuff. Come on, go, go, go. Can play some tunes while we're waiting. Go to, oh, it's a little sluggy. The boxed wine really, unfortunately at this stage, kind of chugs along. So we got our amazing music of our DJ Mike Llama saying, Winamp. Really whips the llama's ass. Classic, very classy. So that's Winamp, so we can listen to some tunes there. I have other tunes, but I don't want to get like some copyright takedown or something. Well, this is loading. Assuming this is loading, it hasn't frozen. What else can we do here? We can also go to my skins. Those are in the documents folder here. Winamp skins. This was my favorite skin back in the day, SpyAmp Pro. That's actually the one I used to rock all the time. And you can actually drag other ones in here, like without playing it. Maybe I can play a few seconds of songs, but let's find some of my music. What's a classic one here? Classic Canadian one. Here we go. Bare Naked Ladies, If I Had $1 Million. So I've also got the ability, this is an MP3, and it actually reads the cover art and makes an icon of the cover art as well. And I can double click that and it'll play as well in Winamp. And I have it muted right now, but believe me, it was playing the song. So that's a fully going Winamp there. It looks like Napster's not going anywhere, unfortunately. I was able to run the Napster installer. Does that count for anything? I enjoy the window within your created window. Thank you. Yeah, this is pretty trippy. It looks cool, but darn it if it did not work. What I would have liked is a standalone version of Napster. Maybe we can get that. There used to be this portable software. What's it called? Portable apps. If we can get a portable app, I could probably extract it. It's probably just a zip. What do we got? Napster. Did we ever have Napster as a portable app? No. If you can get me napster.exe, then we can talk. Maybe, okay. Just for you, I'm going to install Napster on my computer, my home computer here. Just to get the executable so that we can continue this. I've probably got like 20 viruses doing this. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely gotten further than it did on my fake emulated one. So let me refresh this. So we got Napster now. I'm going to take the folder here. Can I drag in a whole folder? I don't know if I can. That might be pushing the limits. Let me try it. No. Okay. Let me zip up the folder. I actually have the ability to manipulate compressed files. Oh, but not within program files. Okay, thanks, Windows. So I'm going to take the Napster folder, put it on my desktop, open up my desktop, select all the files. Using the classic 7-zip, I'm going to add those to... What? Access is denied. Can't open file Napster. Is that some kind of Defender, Microsoft Defender bullshit? Oh, I shouldn't be... I don't know if I'm supposed to swear in this. Alright, I just dragged in the Napster.exe. There's a bunch of files I'm missing, though. Let me just try to drag in all the files. Actually, here, let me clear my desktop. So we're starting fresh. I'm going to make a folder here called Napster. I'm going to open the... Oops, I'm going to spell it correctly here. I've got keyboard shortcuts, too. So you see there when I click it, I can press F2, just like in Windows, and then retype it. I've also done a lot of work on this rename box. So as you see here, it actually resizes with me and pretty much looks like how it's supposed to look. So we got Napster here. Now we open it up. We got an empty folder. I'm going to drag all 13 files into that folder. Oh, that actually worked very quick. So now that we have them in here, I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to add to archive. Now we have napster.zip. Now I'm going to right click and say open with boxed wine. And now we're going to see something. Got Lightbook here saying congrats on the release. Thank you very much, sir. That goes for another cheers. We're going to see if I can get Napster running. A request from, oh, what is this here? Windows Media Format. I don't want to install that. Can I avoid this and still work? No. No is the answer to that question. Let me try this again. Napster again. Where'd that zip file go? Let's put it over here. You see how we can manipulate it very smoothly is my hope. A lot of these icons actually do stuff. Like if it's an exe, it's got this executable icon. That legit will, if you just double click that, that's going to try to run. Let's just try to double click Napster here and see where that takes us. I feel like without all the library files, it's going to be very mad about that. But it's interesting to try. And just for other things we could try too, there's some other ones that are pretty cool. I think I tried this demo before, but if people know Notepad++, that's another cool one. So let's and maybe you could use this for other things. I don't know, like some kind of sandbox scenarios. Oh man, all these useless ads. Portable zip file. So we go back to my thing. So you see here, even though it's in the downloads in Chrome, I can actually drag it up and drop it here. There we go. So let's refresh this. Boxed wine failed. So if I right click the notepad, open with boxed wine, and it's going to try to load it in boxed wine. And at the same time, I can actually right click it again and say open with, I could have just double clicked it and say open, and I can actually look in the zip file too. So we can see what the zip file has. I could even look at the README file, and it'll open my Monaco text editor. And this is actually a code editor that actually supports several languages as well. As another example, let's say the credits. I've made a markdown credits file that we can get into as to what software I used. And you can see this one here is running with the code styling. It's got right-click menus. It's got the ability to do all the different stuff VS Code can do, because this is actually using Monaco, which is the same thing VS Code uses. It's basically from Microsoft. Should have gotten some boxed wine to celebrate. Yeah, that's a good idea. I've done that before back in Australia. The Goon, I think they called it. Those were the not so good old days. Okay, so Notepad++ is just being slow, or is it being stubborn? Let me open bad exe format. Who are you calling bad? I think I've done this before. Let me go to an older version. So this like 8.2 is somewhat new. I feel like I've done it with 8.193. Oh, I had the 64-bit version. Oh, ho, there's my mistake. Foolish. Okay, so let's clear all this. Here's another thing is I have this button here, power off. Basically just clears it. Also the start menu we can get into too. I've done a lot of work on the start menu. If you see here, it's got the spotlight effect when you hover over the mouse. Also the expandable folders if you click them. Here's some of the games I have. Commander Keen, Doom, Duke Nukem 3D. People were asking about 3D gaming. I don't want to... Yeah, the Napster thing failed. Let's give up on the Napster. But I want to show the Notepad++ thing here. Let me get that Notepad++ file, the 32-bit one. Do I dare want to open two emulators at the same time? Let's not. Let's play a little bit of Duke Nukem for the fun of it. The games that I've decided to select are not arbitrary. They're based on ones that I've enjoyed in the past. So let's check it out here. Let me move my cursor. Whoa. So with my rather... Oh man, I can't even hit this thing. Oh, you have to hit it. Okay, come on. Boom, boom. There we go. Now it's easy. So yeah, that's a fun one. This is something someone could just do visiting my site. They could even maximize it. I don't want to completely cut off my visual. You kind of lose track. You don't see it there. Also, you can double click the title bar to unmaximize it, just like Windows. You can also right click the title bar and get all the options here, just like Windows. You can also right click here. Here's another thing you can do that's kind of cool. Let me close this and open a Doom one because the Doom's got a nice demo. Oh, another thing is every time you close a DOS window, it auto saves a snapshot. So if you go into your user folder, snapshots, here's the Duke Nukem save. It actually made a save. So you can continue to save your progress between refreshes. So this is running a demo of Doom. And if you see when I hover over the taskbar here, you actually get a little peek window. And this is a live video of what's going on in the app, in the window. So let's say I were to cover this with a bunch of stuff and I don't see it. It's completely covered, let's say like that. And then I hover over to Doom. We can still see what's going on here at the bottom left, even though the Doom stuff's covered up. Did we set the wallpaper? I was going to set the wallpaper and I don't think I did in the end. I'll talk on that. Let me just do that. Drag the wallpaper back in, set as fill. There we go. This is my familiar wallpaper at home. I like it. One thing I haven't perfectly got is the drag drop. I don't have it where you can drag like over to here. But you can sort it, so I could drag it up to here. Oh, it's a little finicky though. Oh, very finicky? What the heck? Is sorting just broken now? Come on. Okay, sorting appears to be broken or something. Oh, but that one worked. Like I said, it's finicky. I need to work on that. It's on my notes. It's on the other notes. These were the notes that I didn't, the not dones versus the dones. For those tuning in, I had some dones. So yeah, we got Doom. Let's go to my blog post. So another thing I wanted to do, that dustinbrett.com was my blog primarily for many years. When I did my traveling, it was a WordPress blog. When I first moved to Vancouver, some of the last posts I did are like, I'm 30. I'm 36 now, so it's been a while since I've been doing blog posts. But what I wanted was the experience people could still view my blog post. And I intend to make a new blog post. I also have the ability to do shortcuts. So let's say I wanted like right click this one, create shortcut, and then I can drag it onto the desktop and give it a more simple name that doesn't need to have a file extension. So I was thinking of doing something like that. So when people come to my front page, they'll see the like whatever post I want to feature basically. And basically the idea is when you open it, I've put tiny MCE inside it, which until recently was like the editor that WordPress was using. So this visual is essentially what I used to see when I would make the posts. So I thought it was kind of meta that like people would be able to see that. So first you can have it in like this read view where you can, and again, you can maximize it and that kind of thing. This is a short post, but you can do read view. And also when you click the image, it actually loads in my photo viewer. So if you click a picture, it'll actually load here in the fake photo viewer, which has lots of, oh, there's an iframe here that kind of bonkers things up a bit. There we go. That's me and my cousin doing a little pan zoom feature here. And then also you can switch into design mode and you could actually edit my blog posts, which is kind of fun if you want to make all this bold. And you can press save there, close it, refresh the page. And if you come back and you go there, where did it go? Oh man, this happened before. This is something to note for bugs. It's like the position of the window disappeared. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah, why are they all the way over there? And if I refresh, does it go even further every time? It's all over the place. Yeah, darn it. Okay. Well, there's some bugs. I mean, no one's mentioned that yet, but I have bugs. I have a bug list. So there's something about window position, it seems, at the moment. I'm resetting everything. But it would have saved the file. It just didn't display it for some reason because I've messed up the window position in that one example. I'm not even sure how to recreate that. That's the first time that's happened to me. Or the second time, I'd say. Another request. Can you install Sonic Adventure 1 ROM? What ROM is it for? What emulator? Rando, but maybe add on an option to open the post in the PDF viewer. The post. Yeah. You know what I want to do for that actually is I'm actually going to have it where you can right click the posts and convert them to PDFs. And it's going to be a built-in ability for any HTML or WHTML documents in my fake thing to convert, make PDFs out of HTML. And then from there, you could open it in the PDF viewer that I have. And I can show you my PDF viewer too, because I actually have a PDF viewer, now that you mention it. In my Dustin folder here under Documents, I have my resume that I got recently updated. And there's the PDF viewer. Doesn't have too much right now. Zoom in, zoom out, they work. I got a page thing that keeps up with as you scroll. That's about it for that one right now. Another message here. So after refresh, it saves your changes. Is that a session thing? That would be great if I could download something like Mist and keep that on there with the save files. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. So you could download something. Let's see if we can do that. Is Mist like a DOS game? I'm not sure how easy that's going to be to download. Mist DOS shareware. Let's see if that exists, or I made that up. Abandonware. Games part of Mist. Okay, so here's Mist here. This is a Windows 95 app, so there's a small chance it might work in boxed wine, but that's like hope and a prayer kind of thing. It'd be better if it was a DOS one, especially if it was shareware too, even these abandonwares. But yeah, your example's valid. Let's go to some of these DOS games ones. DOS. There's some cool examples here. DOS games. Let's just pick one at random. Let's say one that's easy. Well, Doom, I guess, would be. Let's say Quake. I don't have Quake on there. Oh, these annoying ads. So Quake here. Download the game. It's 8 megabytes. So we downloaded the game. We go back to my app. We drag it onto here. Like so. There we go. Close this. Now if I right click it and I go open with JS-DOS. Take a sip. So because, yeah, it opened with JS-DOS. There we go. We're in JS-DOS. So I check the directory. We got Quake right there. Let me open Quake. I don't think it's shareware anymore. Let's see. Well, this one might be. I'm not sure. This might be an old version. It says this is shareware according to the licensing here. Let's see if this thing talks about that at all. It doesn't really clearly mention that. So we say new game. We're in Quake now, right? So we're playing Quake on my website right now. Let's go here over to the lava. Okay, let's stop right there. Escape. I think you go single player, save. I'll call this slot. Oh, so I saved it right there. It's saved to the drive. So now if I were to close this here and I refresh the page, I come back another day. This is completely refreshed. The file's still there because it remembers that's part of the storage. And if you go to my snapshots folder, no, is that doing that now too? I'm getting like wonky results as far as window position. That's frustrating. Oh well, you learn some. I mean, this literally has never happened before, but now of course it's happening all the time. Well, I don't want to reset things just to figure out window position, so let's try to get to what I was trying to get to another way. But how? I know, we can clear the session. The session has no relevance to the snapshot, but it does have relevance to the window positions. Delete the session. Okay, now we open this again. Snapshots. So there's the snapshot for the DOS game. So you could save this. You could go right-click and download, and then now you have that. And if you look inside that, it's like the ID1 save that it made, S0 save. So now you have that. So let's say you lose my website or you go to a different browser. You could make that snapshots folder and drag this snapshot back in. And now let's use it. Let's do an example. So we open back the same zip. We run Quake again. And presumably there should be a save in there. Single player, load, and there it is, introduction. And then right by the lava, whatever, loading. Yeah, there I am, right by the lava. So yeah, you meant Mist. If you can find Mist, sure. It's the same basic premise, but I couldn't find Mist just offhand. I've played Quake before. Got another one here. Hey, Dustin, checked out the site. Nice work. Thank you, Simon. Yeah, it's been coming together quite well. Here's another cool one, another interesting example. Actually, another cool thing I wanted to show is that I have the ability to map drives using the file system API. So if we reset it here again, I can right-click, and I can actually click Map Directory, and it's going to open up an option for me to pick a folder on my local computer. I'm going to pick the folder I use for other stuff. It's saying here you want to share that. I say yes, and now it shows like a network drive. And if I open this folder is actually my real contents on my real system. And if I can maximize the window here, there you go. You see it's even got all the icons for stuff, and you can see things like the video playing on my video player that's kind of VLC looking-ish is the goal behind that one. I've got like pictures for my picture thing. I already showed you that. I already showed you the Monaco. I've also got a thing for doing prettier for that. If I click here, it might looks like it was already pretty there. You can change. You can save files there. Here's Notepad Plus again. Let's try that example again with boxed wine because that's worked in the past. You're saying Mist is not shareware anymore. Yeah, it's possible. It's probably quite big too because it's a lot of pictures. But yeah, there's so many interesting DOS games you can play, and now the Windows games. Like one example is Heroes of Might and Magic. I play with my. There we go. There's Notepad++. So you see, we're running Notepad++, purely client side, no server, on my website basically, which itself is a fake OS. And we can go a lot further with that if we start getting into the x86 emulator. So we got things like Linux here. So this is like a full-on Linux ISO running Linux. We can boot that. And one interesting thing is it actually has a bit of a mounting. So you can go CD mount, ls, and you can actually see the directories for basically the same directories that you'd see here. Like the robots file is mentioned here, the favicon, and you get like a connection into the Linux box a little bit. And it can open other more advanced ones, like the damn small Linux is another cool one, or Tiny Linux is another one, I believe. Here's that Heroes one. This is in box 1. So this is a Windows application, Heroes of Might and Magic 2. It's a demo. And this is another one where it can actually run it that I thought was kind of cool. And it runs at some reasonable speed. So there we go. So that's like Heroes of Might and Magic. So that's like a full-on game, and you can run tons of Windows games. This is just a demo, but it's actually not that bad of a speed. If you turn the audio off, it's even more performant. But that was another one I thought was kind of cool. What else we got here? Yeah, on my homepage, I got my travel photos. If you go to pictures, I have a lot of interesting stuff on there. Maybe we could do some videos on that sometimes. I actually traveled the world for quite a while, so I got about 38 countries in here, but I've been to about 50 total. I just didn't take pictures of all of them necessarily. Got some other stuff like my travel gear, my backpacks. My passport at one point was quite large. I had every page filled at one point. My wife and my wedding here. I'm visiting Vancouver, tattoos, that kind of thing. And then I got the pictures for my blog post too. What else do I those are my two main personal things. And then as far as videos too, I got my whole playlist here, and I've got the icons coming from YouTube thumbnails. So you'll see here, it takes a little time to load because it's getting them all from YouTube, but you see there, it's a lot of files. These are all the streams. There's 53 videos here that I did in regards to this app. Oh man, there's so many other things it does. I said I was going to go through the feature list, but it's so massive. Let's take a glance at it and see if anyone has anything they want to mention. An emulator within an emulator. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of them. So let's look through it. This is the README that I updated yesterday. Here's how you can try it if you're interested. I'm just going to close my window. It's getting chilly. There we go. A little too cold for me. So you need Git, you need Node, you need Yarn, and you just got to run these basic commands. Pretty simple, actually, to be honest. Here's the features. So the file system, I'm using browser FS. I've made my own file explorer with a history, back, forward, recent locations list, address bar, which you can see there. Here's the address bar here. There's like a recent locations list you can get. There's a refresh button. Oops, let's get rid of that stuff. Also got the drag and drop support via HTML5. That's internal and external, so we can drag within here. I can put this over here, even that's going from like fake to fake, or I could download it onto my desktop, let's say, on my real life computer, and then drag it back onto here. So you can kind of drag external or internal is what I've decided to call that. I've also got that loading progress that you quickly saw that flashed by in a second. I got my zip write support from a library called fflate. We got zip read and write from browser FS, rar extract. I hope at some point to be able to have rars be openable too, but currently just extract them. I'm writing everything to IndexedDB, the file system. How long have we been talking here? 49 minutes already. Well, we'll have to play more with it too. Please feel free if you have any other questions or suggestions. Got lots of context menus: cut, copy, create shortcut, delete, rename, add file, map directory, open with, open file location. Maybe we'll just keep going through them here. So yeah, you right click here. We got the opens, open file location will open where that shortcut was based. These JS-DOS files can also open as zips because they're just zips. So they can open in Explorer. I can drag things out of here. It'll just copy them though. You see they stay there because the zip file doesn't change. These unknown files can be opened in Monaco. Looks like it's not complete gibberish. It's talking about Jazz Jackrabbit. I didn't even notice what I grabbed there, so that's cool. What else? You can drag more icons, music in, that kind of thing. You got all my stream notes here for all the streams we did. 52 of them so far. They have all the different various notes for what I did each video. What else we got here? The Winamp skins. I have a few other fun skins that I thought were kind of nice and worth mentioning. This one was another one. This also works reasonably well in Firefox, Safari, mobile. But Chrome, modern Chrome is kind of my sweet spot as far as what I went for. Running on Windows, modern Chrome, you're going to have the closest experience to what I was going for, basically. Especially because of the font, because the font I've essentially said, just use system font. So if you're on a different system, it's going to look a little different. We've also got Flash emulators here. There's a lot of fun Flash things you can do. Like this Badger video, Badger. If you remember Flash files, SWFs. Those are fun ones too. And I have another sip here. Run Need for Speed in my app. I don't know where it is, you know. If I have an emulator for it, I'd take a look. Going to change the background still? Oh, did I change it back? I think I set it for a very short amount of time and then I undid it. Let's try to do something here. Let's try to open the browser and see where we can go. Can we go to like NASA wallpapers from within my fake browser? NASA images. No, that site is not allowed. That's the problem with this fake browser. All right, let me just get some NASA images then. Sure, this one's good. Let's get that one, the astronomy image of the day. That is not what that picture was a second ago. Oh boy, these are randos. I don't like these photos. What was it? NASA wallpapers. That gave me better results last time. Oh yeah, Simon remembers the mushroom one. Yeah, exactly. Mushroom. Yeah, so you can play all these different Flash files if you want. Let's get one of those images. Back to the same website? Okay, this image here. Save image. Sure. Go to data list, put it over here. And now let's set our wallpaper to this. So what fill looks pretty good actually. What other options we got? Fit. That one looks okay. Stretch looks like garbage. Tile also basically looks like garbage. And center. So the first one was the best. Fill. Cool. So we have some random wallpaper now from the Mars rover. That Curiosity one. Can delete some files here. We can take this and make a archive out of it, and you got a zip file that's got that icon in it. Got that picture, sorry. You can download it. You can extract it again to here. Oh, let's get to some other apps. There's other big apps here, like the terminal. I spent a ton of time on the terminal. There's some crazy stuff you can do with that. If we go to help here, you can see there's a lot of commands. There's a weather app you can do, called weather or whichever. Python, you guys know Python? You can run Python here. Pi 1 + 1, what does it equal? 2, there we go, nice. That's running Python right there. We got our task list here. Currently, I think only the terminal's running. I could do kill terminal, kill my own terminal. The terminal's pretty advanced. I'm pretty happy with it. What other things can it do? It can actually access the WebAssembly package system. So it's called WAPM. You can do apps like Cowsay, where we can say our own words like hello, and it'll actually do the Cowsay one. Or we could do WAPM Fortune is another one. Show business is just like high school, except you get paid. That's deep. What other things we got here? I mean, all the directory stuff. Got the directories here. These are the real directories. So let's say the desktop here. Yeah, let's go to the desktop. We got autocomplete. So we're in the desktop now. We see the files here. So let's say we want to delete that zip file. Delete desktop. Oops. That's a little bit of a bug. Desktop.zip. Boom. There you go. And it disappears there too. Because they are the same thing. So you can do lots of cool stuff in the terminal. What other thing? Git. It's got Git. If you guys ever heard of Git. So let's say we want to clone this repository here. I go to the repo link there. We're on the desktop. I say git clone, and I paste the URL in, enter, and this should do a clone of the git repo. Sudo doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, sudo, that'd be a funny one. I needed to add more Easter eggs, honestly. So git's taking forever. Why is it taking so long? This worked yesterday. In a perfect world, this will work, but it feels slow. Maybe we open up console and see, oh, loading chunk 375 failed. Oh, 375 again, you darn chunk. I'm joking. I don't know why that failed. Let me try this again. What if we just do git version? Okay, so something's broken with git. Well, at least we're learning. I'm going to make a note of that. Git is broken. And also, Windows go off screen sometimes after reload. That seems to be what was going on. There's a few bugs to iron out. Yeah, the Git, when it works, is quite cool because it'll actually, again, just pure client side, it can clone a repository and put it on as a folder. And it works really good when it works. Got DevTools here, so you can actually look at the different DevTools stuff, the source code or the DOM here. See how the DOM is as things open. Let's keep the console here so we can see any more errors that come up. We've seen the PDF viewer, we've seen the photo viewer, the browser, Monaco, terminal, TinyMCE, we've seen the video player, we've seen Winamp. Well, you've seen it all, basically. We've seen the Flash player, JS-DOS, the boxed wine, x86, yeah. There's some disk image examples, the games. Space Cadet, that's one you hadn't seen. Good old Space Cadet. That was a fun one. That still works. I think its audio is really loud, so I'm not even going to play it, but it plays just like how you remember. This is how I remember it. It's pretty smooth for the most part. That's another fun one. Oh, it's actually not, it doesn't look as smooth as I was just saying a second ago. Oh, I did good there, actually. You can see some errors here, so it is a legit console showing there. What else? If you see the clock here, that's another thing I'm kind of proud of. It's pretty minor, but I actually sync the clock like exactly to the user when they log in. So the seconds that show here are almost exactly like the seconds on your computer or on your phone. And if you see it flip, it'll flip right when your phone flips because I synchronize it up. Speedrun Quake now. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, I did have Quake loaded a second ago, so you saw it loaded, but I'm not much of a speedrunner, to be honest. Let's go back to the old desktop. What other things do we have that I can show you here? I'm open for any questions or ask me anything. Doesn't have to be about anything. Doesn't have to be about the project or anything either, even. As far as code, yeah, I'm trying to remember what else we can look at. Oh, let me go back to the browser to look at that feature list. It's such a big feature list. I mean, I think we've gone through most of it, though, honestly. Resize the thing, the animations, various keyboard shortcuts. The clock is actually running in a web worker, so that the hope there is that it wouldn't mess up the thread or anything, the main thread. The wallpaper, unfortunately, is not currently. I've also got these URL shortcuts so you can open an app immediately. And I actually made a little script to create the robots file so that the Google bots, spider bots and stuff know about documents that aren't necessarily easy to get to. I'll mention here all the different file extensions. So for Boxed Wine, it handles these types of file extensions. Browser can handle HTMLs. Got DevTools. All these have links to the libraries. Various extensions. This can handle almost any extension. Got another message here. What's the next major thing you want to add to the project, or do you think you're partially done with it? I'd say I'm partially done with it. I'm not done with it, though, so I'd say it's partially done. That's what I mean to say. I'm definitely not done with it. It's a lifelong thing. I've replaced dustinbrett.com. It's essentially my representation of myself on my website, on the internet, sorry. That being said, if we go down to the to-do list here, I've got some as soon as possible things. Honestly, they're pretty minor. Some of the things I'd like to do is more collaboration, so I'd like to get this IRC client going. I'd like to get search going so that people can find things a little quicker, although there's not much to search for. There's a few little things, but really I've spent a lot of time to deal with a lot of little things and to try to make progress. So yeah, I don't know. It's ongoing forever, you know. FFmpeg, ImageMagick, those are things I can integrate in. I mean, my wish list isn't even so lofty because I've already managed to get so much in there. I'd like to see, I mean, the browser has to keep evolving, you know. There's more I'd like to imagine being able to do with it, but yeah, I don't know for a next project. I mean, now that I have this new job, I want to focus more on this. It's good timing because I'm just finishing this big project and moving on to this bigger job. So it's hard to say. Got a Zack attack. Oh yeah, you're never done. Yeah, it's I enjoy it, you know. I wake up and I'm thinking about different features I can add. So it's hard. It's in some ways it's a little intrusive in my thoughts, but it's I feel like at the same time I'm grateful to have something that I can wake up and it's like a refuge in my mind. Whenever if something's bugging me, I could just start thinking about features for this or a different way to tackle a bug that I've been running into. And that's kind of how I've managed to fix a lot of things here. It's like blood, sweat, and tears of just trying to get it going. Not perfect though, but I hope people can go to the source code and throw some issues on here. If you find something, please be as detailed as possible. Feel free to leave comments on this video also, or anywhere you want, any medium you happen to run into me. Feel free to throw me a comment, a concern, question, criticism, anything like that. I can help you out with the console logs. Yeah, anyone that feels like they can help or has any interest, please feel free to just contact me. There's a Discord channel in the description for these videos. I'm on there often, but not all the time. Anyways, there's a million different ways you can find me, and I'm always open to having discussions about the project. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, thank you very much. I mean, again, cheers. We've released it. This is the release party. We're only an hour in. I don't know how long the party can necessarily go. We got 3 other people here. We got a lot of people checking it out, but I don't want people to be overwhelmed by the release party. So maybe an hour is a nice amount of time, honestly. I think we've gone over a lot of the basics. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you like my content, you like the project, you want to just support me, that kind of thing, motivate me, please feel free to subscribe. It's much appreciated. Other than that, yeah, I think we've discussed everything. And I'll be making more videos like this. I'm going to make shorter videos about little pieces, like even on a per app basis, I might have some prepared examples and just start showing stuff. But for now, it's live. You know, you want to see my website, just go to dustinbrett.com and you can pick through it and play with it on phone or desktop, wherever you want. It says here in the video description, you have exclamation marks after the website links. Okay, maybe those have snuck in somehow. I'll look into tweaking my description there. Thank you, Zack Attack. Thanks everyone for the support. That's it. So I'll see you when I make my next video, and everyone have a happy new year and start a project. It's fun, you know. It's a good idea. Thank you very much. Goodbye. See ya.